I'm Lord Doom for John Murphy TV, and today I am interviewing
indifferentMonKeY.
Okay, so you're called indifferentMonKeys.
We are.
That's a very
indifferentMonKeY.
monkey.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, how the bloody hell did you come up with that name?
That was my idea, I'm afraid.
Right, and does it mean anything? Or?
Yes, it does to me, personally.
Okay, well, that's enough.
You're the indifferent monkey. He's the indifferent monkey.
Right.
All human beings are indifferent and they're monkeys.
I agree with that.
Indifferent to the world we live in, the world war, all these things, yes. We act so arrogantly the way we live on this planet. We are like, to me, the indifferent monkey.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of profound bullshit, maybe to some people, but that's what it means, indifferent monkey. We are all indifferent
Do you
monkeys.
think people aren't indifferent because they just go along with a lot of stuff they're told? So do you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
indifference- But do you think, does that make them indifferent, or does that make
Maybe
them...
we should be indifferent, I reckon.
Yeah. I kind of mean it in the sense of like, we kind of treat life like a taxi ride sometimes, you know. I mean, there's so much crap going on in the world. If you watch Al Jazeera, you see a lot more news than you see on Sky TV.
You watch all the alternatives.
You know,
see a lot more.
so we're not informed. We're not well informed. We're told. I mean, you know, and that's kind of where the name comes from, vaguely.
I know.
And it's just a name for a band, actually. So you can take from it what you will. It's just the name of the band, you know. We were all called. If I'd have thought of calling us the Police, I think everybody would have laughed, you know. But now they're called the Police, you know. And so it's just a name for a band.
Okay, so tell me, how did you all meet up?
Well, I
don't really get out of this bloody interview.
I'm called Brendan and I'm a guitarist, but I met Joe 12 months ago. Joe started this whole thing off with Pippa 18 months ago, and then Graham's been on board for the last like 8 months, is it? Yeah, about that.
8 months?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, so we all just we found each other by chance. And now,
What chance was that? How?
well, he put an ad out. He was looking for a guitarist, and then managed to get in touch with him, met him, and then we hit it off. And then 12 months later, we're here. We've played loads of gigs. We've played like about 30 gigs or more.
I forgot to do. You need to introduce yourself to say exactly who you are and what you do in the band.
All right. Well, I'm Brendan. I'm the guitarist. I do the lead and rhythm.
Graham Derbyshire, I play the drums.
I'm Jolo, and I'm the writer of the music. And till about a year ago, I couldn't find a bass player, so I decided to do it myself. So I've learned myself bass in a year, so I'm quite pleased with that. And that's me, Jolo.
And I'm Pippa Dunk, and I'm the front woman. I'm the singer of this mishmash of people, basically.
Okay,
Yeah.
so when I was looking you up, you were described as trip hop rock.
Yeah.
That's
Can you
correct.
explain what trip hop rock is? Now I'm going to pretend to know, and you can just explain it to the audience.
I don't think.
I beg to differ, I do.
Yeah.
Okay, then,
don't.
come on.
No.
Tell me, trip
Well,
hop
well,
rock.
well,
Can you explain this? What the bloody...
I don't know.
I don't know.
Joe's put it on trip hop, I'm not sure.
You know.
Trip hop rock.
It's like a mixture of classic rock, you know, indie, and also we've got like dub in it because we've got like synthesizers and stuff like that, you know. But we have influences from all sorts of backgrounds, you know, like we have Black Sabbath, Massive Attack, Tricky, you know, all them sort of great bands, and we
All put together.
Yeah, just
becomes
trying to-
indifferentMonKeY.
It's very eclectic, so we
Just trying to create quite a new sound.
I'm a big fan of like trip hop, as in Massive Attack, Prodigy, not really trip hop, Portishead, that type of thing. And then I've always loved heavy metal, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, all that stuff. So it's kind of mishmash of all that, and it's really difficult. It's a hard question to answer because so many people want to label you.
Yeah, people always ask
They
me
always
what
want to go,
genre.
what are you? What are you? What are you?
Don't
And
know.
we're just what we are. And it's a mixture of all that shit, yeah? So it's just, we're indifferentMonKeY. We're not trying to be the next anybody. And a lot of bands emanate other bands to try and be those bands.
We're a mixture of...
We're doing our own shit. People can like it or they can fuck off, basically.
Let me ask you, are you signed to a record label?
No,
No.
we're not.
You're not signed to a record label?
No.
No.
So you have got records out, so how is that produced? And stuff?
Well, I do all the production, I do all the social media, I do all the everything. Spend about 8 hours a day pushing us. We do have our own label called Daisy Records, spelled with a Z, D-A-Z-Y, daisyrecords.com. So it's our own little label. We have approached a few labels. One label did want to sign us, but they wanted to turn her into a fucking Beyonce or some shite, you know. And so we told those guys to fuck off as well. and we just do our own shit. And like we only started gigging properly about a year ago, but like Brendan said, we've done about 30 gigs since then. We've actually co-headlined with Hawkwinds.
Oh really?
Yeah, the iconic Hawkwinds.
It's a lovely woman.
And the Hawkwind audience embraced us and loved everything. And apart from driving 6 hours yesterday down from Lancaster, near Manchester, to get down to the Amersham Arms yesterday, we played in the iconic Amersham Arms yesterday. And we had the BBC there, and they want us to come back to London, like connecting with BBC Six Music.
Something I wanted you to explain. How did the BBC connection come about, and how? Tell us about the BBC.
Well, they've got BBC Introducing, so every unsigned band can send their music to BBC Introducing.
What?
So we've sent our music a few times. We've been played quite a few times on BBC Introducing. Then there's an offshoot called Fresh on the Net with Tom Robinson, if you remember that guy. And one of our tracks got a rave review on there. So one of the guys from BBC, Fresh on the Net, a lot of connections, came last night, loved it, loved everything about it, and said he wants us back in London as much as possible.
Right.
And then next month we're headlining. There's a festival called Diva Fest in Cheshire, and it's got Feeder, Morcheeba, if anybody knows Morcheeba, big trip hop band, Morcheeba, Star Sailor, somewhat bit has-beens but good bands. But we've been chosen to close the whole festival on the Sunday night. So things are starting to happen slowly but surely.
Tell us about your airplay. You get a fair bit of airplay, I heard.
Yeah. We're played on, oh my God, maybe 100 internet stations around the world. Yeah, we've got quite a few thousand followers online. We've got our own. If you're watching, go to indifferentMonKeY, all one word, on Facebook and join our indifferentMonKeY group. We've got about 700 or 800 people in there that are all followers. And like any band at this level, everything's about just fighting, because nobody pays you fuck all. You know, no matter how many hours you put in, you just have to keep fighting. And that's what we're doing, and we're doing a good job.
So tell us about, is it your brother-in-law that did Murder on the Dance Floor, the record, and that was yours?
Me again? Fuck it. Yeah, no, my brother-in-law, it's really good, I'm so thankful you ask about that, because Keith Ashcroft died at the beginning of 2020, just before COVID hit. Keith Ashcroft was asked to be in Simply Red back in the day, and he turned them down. Not because he was arrogant, because they weren't famous, and it was just like, oh, sorry guys, I'm a bit busy. That became Simply Red. So it was one thing Keith missed. Keith was an amazing guitarist, did a lot of session work, and if you know Sophie Ellis-Bextor's Murder on the Dance Floor, and you hear that great funky guitar in it, that's my brother-in-law, Keith. And Keith, before he died, helped me with some of the recordings that we've even... Keith, we do backing tracks. Keith is actually still with us on stage because some of the licks are still on the backing tracks from Keith. And I'll never take them out because he's going to be there forever. Yeah, he's the most nicest, funniest, most talented guitarist up there with Hendrix, man. That's the world we live in. You're either in one place or another and you become something. Doesn't mean about talent. He had a sudden heart condition. I forgot what they call it, but it's basically you've got once they diagnose it, you've got 8 hours to live, literally. So they rushed him to hospital in where we live in Lancaster, and they were trying to get him moved to Blackpool, where there's a specialist heart hospital. So they're keeping him in A&E, waiting, and he was literally, because he gave guitar lessons, he was literally sat on the edge of his bed talking to his kids who were all a bit worried, going, I'm fine, and texting his students, that's how much he was a nice guy, cancelling his guitar lessons, saying, I'm sorry, I can't give you a guitar lesson today, I'm in hospital. Middle of one of those texts, he literally dropped dead. And it ended up halfway through the text, I've still got the text. Yeah, and he just hit the ground, and they spent about an hour trying to resuscitate him, but obviously that didn't happen, and so God bless Keith.
Tell us about some of the interesting places you've played. You can all be included here. Interesting, what's the most interesting place you've played?
Well, I mean, we played in Preston, didn't we?
Preston?
Yeah.
Preston?
Fucking hell, that's not the most interesting place.
I thought it was alright. Well, I think the Amish Arms is probably the one for us, really.
I've interviewed playing in Japan and all sorts of, but Preston, now you're talking.
I played the Marquee.
The Marquee?
I played the Marquee when it was open. It's not open, it's not shut now, the Marquee. It's closed down. It's closed down now, the Marquee. Yeah, I played the Marquee, Sported Ortwinds, Budgie, I can't remember who else it was. Diamond Dead. I don't know what you know, it's a heavy metal band. So yeah, I played all over it.
You played in other bands?
I
You played
In different bands, yeah, this is other
Yeah.
bands. Yeah, years ago, in the 80s. 82 Monmouth Festival in Wolverhampton with Ortwind.
Wow.
Yeah, not with Ortwind, but on the same bill.
Basically, tell us about your music background again.
Sorry, yeah.
Well, no,
He was asking about Ortwind.
No, I've always had a deep passion for music. You know, it started from listening to it. My dad introduced me to a lot of good bands.
What sort of bands did you introduce you to?
The likes of Therapy, Hawkwind, you know, Prodigy, loads of great bands. David Bowie. You know, I mean, I like Steve Hillage. You know, I like proper obscure stuff. Frank Zappa. That's
Yeah,
all the music
yeah, we
I
like
right
Zappa. Big Zappa.
A guitarist,
Yeah.
and who would you say your guitar hero would be?
Well, I think I would have to say Frank Zappa for me. I like Tony Iommi as well. I really do. But Frank for me, he was doing things that nobody else has ever done. You know, he was the Mozart of rock for me. He really was.
Well, so say, I would like a drum lesson of some great drum hero.
Probably John Bonham.
Oh, yeah.
Still alive?
Yeah.
Oh, he's dead. Still alive? Oh, God, they're all dead. John Bonham, Neil Peart. Oh, God, who's alive? I'm trying to think who's alive. Gavin Harrison out of Porcupine Tree. The man. Yes, he is.
Okay, well, it's one then.
There's one that's alive.
And your musical background, and tell me how you got into singing, and do you play any instruments?
A bit here and there. So my musical background, I've always been singing ever since I was little. I actually had singing lessons so I trained classically. I've done like exams in like classical singing and like musical theatre, operatic singing.
You can sing opera.
Yeah, used to. Not as like I'm not as trained in it anymore, but yeah, I've done exams and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And loved it. Always did it all throughout school. Sang really classical stuff. Did a bit of like piano, saxophone, clarinet, stuff like that. And then it kind of dropped off after I went to uni because I wasn't at school anymore.
Can I ask what you did at university?
Well, I'm still at uni now.
Don't tell me it's philosophy, please. Because the problem is if you get a degree in philosophy, all the philosophy firms
The ancient philosopher.
not hiring.
No, I do sustainable fashion.
Now, what the bloody hell is sustainable fashion? Sustainable fashion, what the fuck does that mean? Come on.
What the fuck is that?
What the fuck is that? Sustainable fashion.
So, in short terms, it's just like I learn about recycling clothes and like how clothes are made and like new materials. Yeah, charity shop's my favourite place. My favourite place.
Yeah, so that's what recycling. So is it like, did you recut clothes or did you just go to a charity shop?
Yeah, charity shopping, and we learn about like new materials that are more sustainable and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's environmental and stuff.
Very environmental, that's all it's about.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. But yeah.
Cool. So, okay. So, where would you like? See, they're talking now. Huh?
You've asked them three, but not me about my musical influences.
Tell me. So I forgot.
Well, I haven't got any. Me? I'm my
So,
musical influence.
Joe is the diva of the band, okay?
No, I don't even listen to other people's music because I write music. But I do, that's a bit of a lie. I am exaggerating, but I try not to style what I do off other bands. So since I was a kid learning guitar, I started writing my own songs from that moment. So I've never really even tried to learn covers. Just keep composing. So, but I do like David Byrne, Talking Heads. I do like Prodigy. I do like Black Sabbath. I love Massive Attack. I love Tricky. I love Skin. I love ABBA. I love, right, we'll stop now. I like anything that I like.
Okay, so let me ask you all. What do you think of the state of the music industry at present?
Say again, sorry.
What do you think of the state of the music industry at present?
Pile of shit, mate. Pile of fucking shit. I'll tell you why, and I'm going to try and shut up in a minute, but I lived abroad for a few years in Belgium, and I was in bands playing out there. And they treat you out there, they're Anglophiles too, so they love British music, but they've got a great, vibrant life scene out there in Holland, Belgium, Germany a bit. So I lived out there for quite a few years, and I was with a lot of Americans, English musicians out there. We weren't going to come back to England, so they pay you, even if you're not famous, they pay you, yeah? And I mean, if you're in a four-piece band out there and you do original music, they're interested, and they'll pay the band 800, 200 quid each. They will feed you and give you free drinks for the night. They'll treat you like a human being, yeah? You play here in the UK, if you've not got a name, you look at, you have to pay to play sometimes, and some places, you go like, you're not even getting paid, and you go, can I have a pint of lager? And they go, that's 6 quid, please. You go, fuck off. There's 50 people in here come to see us, and you're making us pay for a pint. No food. You could have travelled 50 miles. You're hungry. They won't give you food. They don't pay you, and they treat you like an Untermenschen or whatever the German word is. You know, like not human. Yeah. Abroad, musicians even can sign on in Belgium if they prove that they've played so many gigs. They get the venue to sign, and after a while they can prove that that's their living. So if they haven't got enough gigs on, they actually can sign on. That is unheard of here. Yeah. So people although they write shit music in Europe, so they're never gonna fucking do anything good. So they're not gonna do anything good. They get treated like human beings. But here, we write the best music in the world, and we get shown.
And if you're a busker, you have to have a fucking card reader.
Yeah.
They want people,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's a crazy country, but maybe that's why we write the best music, because we're only going to do it if we're absolutely going to, slit our throats for it.
You've got
So-
plenty of inspiration here anyhow.
yeah, you've got to fucking really, really believe in it, because they're not going to pay you unless you get that one song on the radio that might be like, I don't know, Franz Ferdinand with their one hit record, and now 25 years later we're still touring the world on one fucking song.
That's it.
Yeah? And it's crazy. It's crazy. Making 150k a gig,
My main question would be, where would you like your band to go in the future? What would you like it to happen to your band? And
Like the Beatles said, and John Lennon always said, "Where are we going, boys?" Yeah? And they were like, "We're going to the top, Johnny." Or something like that.
As far as
I
you
probably
can
said
go,
that wrong.
try and do it, don't you?
Say
Try
again.
and you just got to try and do as much as you can.
Do you know what?
Keep trying and
You've got
trying.
to enjoy this one.
Yeah, we enjoy
everything
it.
we get.
I enjoy it. I enjoy
We're
playing.
enjoying
Yeah, I
every
mean,
moment,
we-
enjoying every gig we're getting. If it goes no further, it goes no further. But take every help you can get and see what happens. That's the way it is. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And every day we're like, wow, this is amazing.
We're at the
We're
mercy
doing
of
it.
corporate organisations like the BBC.
We don't take anything for granted.
So we know if you check out indifferentMonKeY or one word on YouTube, and I defy anybody to go, that's shit music, even if it's not your style. And there are loads of bands out there for some odd reason to get on the radio, and I think, what the fuck's going on? But that's how fickle the music business is. It's like League of Gentlemen said, it's a shit business, and it is a shit business. So it's just, so we're fine. We're having a ball of a time.
Yeah.
We're very proud of what we're doing. People show up and enjoy. I mean, we're playing next week. We're sold out next week in a gig because everybody knows us where we come from. So we're playing the Bath Hotel in Morecambe, if there's anybody from Morecambe. We've already got about 100 people in this small pub. It's going to be heaving. Yeah. Then we're headlining at Diva Fest to about, God knows, 10,000 people next
Where
month.
is that?
In Cheshire. So we're going to be playing to about 10,000 people next month. We played to 30 people tonight,
Bit more.
and that's how it goes. 40 people.
I noticed that the first half of your set was quite tame.
Yeah.
You came on and went for it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Went for it.
Yeah.
Why did you do it like that? Do you always do it like that? Or
Yeah, we
Depends
would.
on the situation, mate.
Like we
Quest
get-
of anybody we play for goes, we want you to play for an hour. We want to play for 45 minutes. We want you to play for 5 hours. You know what I mean? And we're not going to pay you either. And we're not going to give you a fucking pint of lager either, you cunt. It's like, you fucking do what you want, you cunts. Yeah? And then we'll play a little pub, and we'll play a little local pub, who go like, we love you. How much do you want for a gig? We go, 300. And they go, fine. And there's 10 people trying to pay you 300 quid who play in Manchester at this shit thing called the fucking, what's it called, that festival? Retro Fest, which is, they have loads of bands on all weekend, don't pay anybody anything. They want them all in there just so their families come and buy their £6 a pint beer, and then PAs are shit, everything's shit, don't give you anything, and it's like, they kill the whole spirit of fucking music.
Oh, yeah.
They kill it.
It was funny.
It doesn't take that much if you're gonna put things on and treat human beings who've worked hours on those rehearsals and that music, sometimes 10,000 hours, that thing of 10,000 hours. So then make them drive 100 miles, show up and treat them like cops. Yeah? And then just so you can pull a few more fucking banks.
Oh yeah, that's what
Fucking
it's about.
cunt. It needs to be stopped.
Yeah, what were you saying?
People need to be treated
I was
like
going to say at that same venue, I got mischarged for a pint. I got charged 60 quid for a fucking pint. Realised until halfway down fucking motorway. I was like, what's going on there?
Get that one in, Brendan.
I got it back, like. I was like, bloody hell.
You got it back, nothing.
Dearest pint in the world.
60 quid.
Fuck you, no man. What was that? What kind of beer was it?
That's Stephen.
It was it was a beer Moretti. Beer Moretti.
That's Stephen in Iceland.
Right, so tell me, right, okay, so basically, John, would you like to ask him
No,
questions
no,
while
that's
we're
cool,
here?
man.
So we'll wrap it up here,
Yeah.
and it's been lovely talking to you.
Yeah, it's been lovely.
It's a great interview, and I'm very happy, so
Thank you for
it's
having
been
us.
lovely talking to you.
Oh, it's been lovely
And
talking
you were
to
really
you.
good.
Yeah, cracking, thank you.
Second half, like, was like, was explosive.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
it's our favourite bit.
Cool.
Thank you. Will you say that again on camera?
You're still recording, you're still recording. Yeah, yeah. The band's good, go and fucking watch them.
Excellent guys, thank you so much.